Hey guys, Christine Stein's here. I hope you all are having a great Thursday so far. One more week and then it's the weekend. Anyways, today I want to talk to you about pre-workout supplements. And also, like the title says, pregnancy and breastfeeding. So if you are pregnant, or you're planning on getting pregnant, or you're nursing, and you've ever wondered, is your pre-workout safe to take when you're pregnant or nursing? So if you're curious about that, stick around. I am going to give you what my opinion is. It is just my opinion based on the research that I have done and why I feel safe taking the pre-workout that I do. So I have become an avid morning workout person. It's one of the few ways I can ensure I get it done before my day gets crazy. And one of the biggest things that's helped me make that happen is my pre-workout. I legit don't think I would work out without it. It's life. Now, before I started taking this supplement, I would read through the ingredients and make sure, there wasn't any artificial ingredients. That's a big one. Making sure it wasn't too high in beta-alanine, or a couple other things that I'll talk about, and just nothing else really, really glaring. But I didn't spend a ton of time about it before. But then 2 years and 9 months ago, when I became pregnant, and I'm pregnant again, I decided to dig into it a little more. Because if you'll notice, if you've ever taken a pre-workout, if you take a pre-workout, raise your hand if you take a pre-workout, it's the best. You'll notice that on the one that I take, and on any pre-workout, every single type of supplement like this, you will see a warning label on there to pregnant women and nursing mothers. So why is that warning label on there? Is it really harmful? So this is what I will say before I go into more specifics. Without proven studies, you cannot remove warnings like that. So this is kind of one of those, like, in my opinion, CYA situations, the cover your ass situation so nobody gets sued kind of things. So, that has to be on there until they prove through studies that it's not harmful. And they're never going to prove that because they're not going to do studies on pregnant women because that would be unethical. So those warnings are always going to be on these types of products. But I feel like just because a massive study hasn't been done on a certain product doesn't necessarily mean it's dangerous or bad for me. That just means there's not enough information out there yet. So I'm going to take it upon myself to dig in and figure this out. So that's what I did. And let me share with you the ingredients in the pre-workout I take. This doesn't apply to all of them, but in the one that I take, I'll go through them one by one. So first of all, and the ingredients are similar in a lot of pre-workouts. So some of these ingredients will apply. The specific amounts could be different in the one that you have. Anyways, and this is also relevant whether you're pregnant or not. So I'll go through them one by one. The first thing, I was pleasantly surprised that I researched each of the ingredients. Every single one, the description would always say, this ingredient is found naturally in food. Every single one. And to me, that right there is comforting to know. That was a good sign, a good start. So let's go through them. Beta-alanine, okay? Beta-alanine is naturally occurring in the bodies, and it's found in a lot of foods, in protein-rich food. Chicken, fish, beef, it's in there. What does it do? It basically increases muscle strength. It delays muscle fatigue. It helps in aerobic and anaerobic endurance. So it stops the buildup of lactic acid in your muscles. So you can maintain a higher level of performance basically in your workout. And it's been reported in the studies that they have done on it that there's no side effects reported with moderate dosage is what it says. So, okay, what is a moderate dose of this? It's 3.2 grams to 6.4 grams. The dosage in the pre-workout that I take is 800 milligrams. Now, if you remember math, it takes 1,000 milligrams to equal 1 gram. So there's not even 1 gram in a serving of my pre-workout. And in the studies that have done, again, not in pregnant women, but just in normal people, there was no side effects reported in moderate doses, which they said was 3.2 to 6.4 grams. So, okay, I'm well below what they've said is, safe to consume. I'm well below that with this. So I feel safe consuming this now, knowing what I know. So, okay, there's that one, right? Next ingredient, quercetin. I'm not even sure I'm saying that one right, to be honest, but that's what we're gonna call it. This one, this is also found in food. Red wine, onions, apples, berries, other foods too. This is actually a plant pigment, and this is something that is said high doses could result in kidney damage, which would be relevant for everyone, by the way, not just pregnant or nursing mothers. But so what is high dosage, right? We need to know that, because a lot of things you take too much, it can be bad. Just even caffeine, they say it's bad if you have more than 3. It's all about 3 cups. It's all about moderation, right? Anyways, so too much is bad. So what is too much? So people also take this quercetin, however you say it, that have different ailments not related to like trying to improve their fitness performance. So people that have heart issues, high blood pressure, they take this because it's supposed to help with those things. It's also said to help lower your risk of cancer because it prevents harmful cells from building up in your body. So common dosages when you're using it for those purposes are 500 milligrams 2 times a day. Okay, so 1 scoop of the pre-workout I take has 500 milligrams. So again, 1,000 milligrams is recommended to help with cancer, heart disease, lower blood pressure, which all sound like things I would be fine working on too. The pre-workout I take has 500 milligrams. So again, half the amount than the recommended, amount to treat some of these other issues or ailments, whatever. So again, knowing this, I feel comfortable, with this amount, the product it is, the amount that I'm getting, that it's not having any negative impact in my body. And what it does, I forgot to say this part before, sorry. Quercetin, or however you say it, is an antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory in your body. It's especially helpful for your joints. And again, it's used to increase endurance and your athletic performance. Okay, next. So the next one, next active ingredient in it is green tea. So green tea, is it safe? The only setback from green tea for a pregnant person is the amount of caffeine in it. And I'm sure if you are a pregnant woman or nursing, you've heard from your doctor, because it was like your first question you asked, could I have caffeine? And they told you it was fine, right? Can you imagine if they told pregnant people that we couldn't have caffeine? They'd die. Anyways, but it's advised that we shouldn't have more than 200 milligrams of caffeine a day, right? Which is kind of the equivalent of, 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day. They say about 100 milligrams of caffeine is in a cup of coffee. So 1 scoop of my pre-workout has 100 milligrams of caffeine. So about the equivalent of a cup of coffee. So back when I had my first child, I don't drink any coffee anymore. But back when I was pregnant with Cruz, I was still drinking coffee. So I just made sure that if I was going to have coffee and my pre-workout, that I didn't have more than 1 cup of coffee. So I stayed under that 200 milligrams of caffeine. But to be honest, after I did my workout each day, I didn't want coffee because I had all that energy from my exercise already. So I didn't need an additional dose of caffeine because I already had that energy and that mental alertness from my pre-workout and then from doing my actual workout on top of it. So again, another one, I feel confident with the green tea, the amount of caffeine that's in it, that it's fine, it's not harmful for me or my baby. This is now, the things that I'm saying, like the ingredients that I'm talking about, these are going to vary depending on the brand of the pre-workout that you use. I've seen some pre-workouts that have crazy amount of caffeines or crazy amount of beta-alanine in them. So this isn't relevant for all brands. You need to check what yours is. Another one that's really important, and my pre-workout doesn't have any in it, but something that I see in a lot of pre-workouts is artificial ingredients. You need to make sure it doesn't have that in it. Those are things, they don't even come from food. Like they're non-food ingredients that you are putting in your body. You are not meant to ingest things like that. So just be careful with that one too. But you want to check that too. But that's it. Those are the ingredients in the pre-workout I take. And having done this research, figuring out what these are, what the recommended dosage are, comparing it to what is in my pre-workout, I feel very confident that I can consume this safely, and it's not going to put me at risk or my baby at risk. I can do it pregnant, nursing, help me take on my workouts every morning and get that done. and take on my workouts. Anyways, when you're breastfeeding, the only thing I would say, the only reason that this might change is I know some babies are a lot more sensitive to caffeine. So Cruz wasn't. I didn't notice any change with him, so I continued taking it. I've seen some women like drop down to a half scoop, but that's just something that's going to be more on like a one by one, each person, an individual basis. That's what I'm trying to say. Individual is the word I was looking for. But like just like a cup of coffee, there's some mornings that you're like, it's still worth it. Anyways, I hope this helps you. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, feel a little better about taking your pre-workout, or even not, just, a regular person taking this, knowing what these ingredients are, what you're putting into your body, and, just feeling a little better about it. Because they do have those warning labels on the tubs, and it's like, what is this? What am I putting in here, right? Most of us don't know what these ingredients are. But anyways, if you are curious about the kind that I take, I'd be happy to share with you the one that I take. I'm really thankful that I have a pre-workout that I can take that is safe, and allows me to work out every day. Because like I said, that stuff is life. If you tried it, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, thanks for being on. I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. If you have any questions about anything that I said, I'm not a doctor, but I can try to answer. And yeah, I hope you have a great day.